Unit 17, Part 6. So what does 1 say? 1 says, there exists some x such that there is a y such that x loves y. There exists some y such that x loves y. As we translated colloquially, someone loves someone. Now when we have a two-place predicate like this, and we got two quantifiers which are the same, if we switch around the quantifiers, it will not change the meaning. If you've got two existential quantifiers, right, to switch them around, like the one on the other side of the equal sign here, you're going to get the same meaning. All right, just read this and see how it's going to arrive at an equivalent meaning. There exists some x such that there exists some y such that x loves y. This says there exists some y. You'll notice now the y is going to be in the one being loved position, the position being loved. There exists some y such that there is some x such that x loves y. So you might say there is someone being loved by someone, but it's also can be translated somebody loves somebody. You're going to get a similar equivalence with number 2. For every x, the following is true. For every y, x loves y. Right? If we have for all y, for all x, x loves y. We'll say for every y, and then each one is going to be in the position of being loved this time. For every y, everyone loves that y. It's again, everybody loves everybody. They'll result in equivalence of meaning. Okay, notice what Klenk says at the bottom of page 319 now, as we enter into the interpretation of 3 through 6. The situation changes, however, when we have a mixture of universal and existential quantifiers. Here, changing the order at the front will make an enormous difference in meaning, so you must learn very carefully how to figure out what these sentences say. Okay, then we go through the examples. So, look at 3 and 4 first. Notice this about them. You've got LXY, right? You've got, in both of these, you've got the universal quantifier binding the lover position, the one doing the loving. It's the lover and the lovee. The universal quantifier binds the first position here. The universal quantifier binds the first position here. In both 3 and 4, right, you've got a universal x and an existential y. Right? So you've also got an existential quantifier binding the being loved position, existential quantifier binding the being loved position here. But this does not result in equivalence of meaning. Right? Here, that advice that the leftmost quantifier determines the overall form of the sentence is crucial. It says on 318, first of all, 321, 323. And these are, when we pass these two meanings and you get a sense of the difference of them, you'll see why it is so important to sort of, in your interpretation, pause after you've read the initial quantifier, which determines the form of the sentence, and ask, as Klenk repeatedly asks, now let's ask what is being said about those referred to by the quantifier. It's a bit of an awkward phrase because quantifiers, right? Somebody trampled my strawberry patch, right? Why was it not a name? Because, going back to the predicate logic stuff, if you remember the discussion of somebody trampled my strawberry patch, I'm saying somebody, right? But I don't know which particular individual. I'm just quantifying. I'm saying there is somebody that trampled my strawberry patch. Like, so you can affirm a quantifier statement like that one as true without knowing that the predicate is true of any particular individual. So that's why it's a bit awkward to say, as Klenk says, right, pause after the first quantifier and now ask what is being said about the one referred to by the quantifier. So really referring to an individual. Anyway, it's fine. So what does this say? So let's do 3. This says, for every x, what is being said about every single individual? I'm saying for every x, for each one, it is true that there exists some y such that x loves y. For every single one, it's true. So for this one it's true, and for this person it's true, and for this person it's true, and for this person it's true, that there is someone that X loves. There is a Y such that X loves Y. Okay? So this says everyone is a lover, right? Crucial to the meaning of this one, this is everyone X loves Y. Everyone is a lover, right? Everyone, it's something like every single one, every single person's desire to love is satisfied, right? There exists a person on the end of the relation of loving for each of the ones. What's crucial to the meaning of this sentence is that you are not affirming that it is one person in each case, right? This is true. For every single X, for each one by one, it will be found true that this one has a lover, and this one has a lover, and this one has a lover, loves someone. Each one loves someone. It is perfectly consistent with this, that it's a different person in each case. So Bill loves Jane, Tom loves Juliet, Andrew loves Henrietta, right? Gonna run out of names, but different person, right? For each individual one, there is one person, this one loves that one, this one loves this other one. It's always a relation that ends there, right? So this is, everyone has a lover. For every single X, what's true? There is a Y, such that X loves Y. Okay, I noted what was similar of 4. You've got an existential binding the loved position, as you do here. You've got a universal binding the lover position, as you do here. Universal first position 1, universal position 1, existential position 2, existential position 2, but, right, when we interpret this properly, we get what? Okay, this is a universal statement. Leftmost quantifier determines the form of the sentence. This is an existential statement. Again, leftmost quantifier, here an existential, determines the form. This is an existential statement. I'm asserting something of some one individual, right? So notice that how it starts differently. Here we said, for every single X, 3, we said for every single X, so of this one and that one and that one and that one. Here I'm saying, there is someone, there's at least some one Y for which the rest of it is true. And the rest of it includes the universal quantifier. So what does this say? There exists some one Y, there exists a Y, such that every single X loves that Y. Okay? This was everyone has a lover. No, everyone is a lover, I'm sorry. For every single X, there exists a Y. This is everyone is a lover. This I call the Helen of Troy sentence. This is Helen, right? There exists some one Y such that for every X, X loves Y. There is one for which the following is true. Right? Pause after the quantifier. There is some one for which the following is true. What follows? What's true? This. Every single one of them loves her. Short to one, right? LXY. Everyone loves someone, Y. So it's the Helen of Troy because everyone loves Helen of Troy. That's my name for that one. All right. Now let's do this one. 5 and 6, notice. So here these two have the universal binding the first position. These two both have the existential binding the lover position, and the universal binding the loved position, right? So 5 and 6 have a similarity. Existential in position 1, existential binding position 1, universal binding position 2, existential position 1, universal binding position 2. They've got that similarity, but the quantifiers are reversed, and it changes the meaning. Okay, so check it out. There exists some one X such that what follows is true. Pausing after the quantifier. What is it that I'm saying is true? What is it I'm saying is true about the one referred to by the quantifier? It does make sense. It's perfectly fine to say about. Just be clear that it's not you're not predicating of an individual. different sense of about, the one the quantifier refers to, different sense than what you're saying about Tom or Andrew or someone you're predicating of. Is it? Yeah, I'm thinking of on page 322 in the middle here, and there she says, you should then try to figure out what is being said about the thing referred to by the quantifier. That's the text that I'm talking about. All right. So what does it say? There exists someone X. There exists someone X for which the following is true. For all Y, X loves Y. Right. So what's true of the individual? It's an existential statement. Leftmost quantifier determines the meaning. It's an existential statement. There is someone. You might at this stage like to anticipate the meaning, look across to see what position the one quantified over is in. Is lover or lovey? Okay. There is someone in the lover position for which there is someone, there exists an X for which what is true. For every single Y, X loves Y. So there is someone that loves all of the people, right? I call this the Jesus sentence, but substitute in your favorite prophet or great person from history who loves everybody, right? There is someone, there is one that loves everybody. All right. So it's just okay. Compare this. For all Y, pause. What am I now saying is true about each and every one of them? Right? So what follows is going to be true of the first one and the second one and the third one. It's true of each one. For all Y, what? For every single Y, there exists an X such that X loves Y. Now, crucial to grasp the difference in meaning between different logical senses between this and this. Right? This says, for this one has a person that loves them. It's also true of this one, that they have a person that loves them. But it can be a different person, right? And this one also has a person that loves them, for this one too, for all of them, so for the third one as well, there exists some X that loves them, so this one also, so each one of the people, for all Y, there exists someone that loves that person. Different person in each case, right? Different from the Jesus sentence, right? That says there's someone that loves them all. This says everyone has a lover, right? Everyone's desire to be loved is satisfied, right? Everyone's desire to love is satisfied. Everyone's desire to be loved is satisfied, is what's asserted, right? Or, as Klenk put it, everyone has a lover. Has a lover, right? But I'm spending the time on the different truth conditions, right? So this one, these two, which was similar, existentials binding the first position, universals binding the second position. But there is someone that loves them all. Verse frozen.